Well, 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 what do we have here? How about a few well designs for you to possibly add to your world? Just a little something that you could use to decorate in all those nooks and crannies that you have nothing else to build. So why not? And it also gives me another excuse to practice using some 1.16 blocks. So here we are. 6 wonderful well designs for you. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get started with this little itty bitty well. It's really cute, really simple, and we're just gonna be using these blocks that I have down here in my hotbar. Honestly, you could just copy it without me showing you how to build it, but we'll just build another one right here on the side. So first, we need a 3x3 area, and I'm gonna be using the basalt for the base. I just love this new texture. It's one of my favorites. And then we're gonna put our water source in the middle. Let's go ahead and surround this with a nether brick wall. Could be any wall you're choosing, but we're going to be using a more purplish palette for this well. Then we're going to put 2 nether brick fences on each corner, and we're done with the base. Now we just have to add the roof. Again, you could probably just look at it and copy it. It's super easy. 3 stairs on each side, just like that. And then a bottom slab down the middle. So you should have a full block high in here, then just put a trapdoor on either end. That's simple. Then we just need to add our chain and bucket, and you could make it floating here, you could make it go all the way down there, really up to you. But we'll be using a cauldron for the bucket wherever you decide to end it, and then go ahead and put your water inside there. Be careful not to click on the chain and have it spread everywhere, but there it is, our first itty bitty well. Very simple. For our second well design, it's again a very simple palette, but just a little bit larger than the first one, but it's still very simple. So we're going to start with the basalt base again, because this is just a wonderful block and we have to use it again. So let's go ahead and make a 3 block length here. Then we're going to put one in the corner and another 3 block length. So we're just going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we get a circle. So we have 1 in the corner, 3 across, another one going in, 3 across, and then another one, and you should have this cross shape in the very middle. Very simple. And then we can go ahead and turn those into source blocks. Now you could make this deeper, of course. It is going to be a well, but for the sake of this tutorial, it's going to be very shallow well. Not very typical, but it works. Now for the supports, put some walls on each corner. You could connect these if you wanted to, but I kind of like the openness of it. It feels different. And we're going to take birch fences now because they match the sandstone walls. Whatever fences or walls you want to use, I just pick stuff that matches in color. So put 2 of those on each of these corners all the way around. Then take your birch fence gate and put 1 in the middle of each of those. This will just add some additional support to it, so it actually looks like it can support that giant roof that we're going to put on. And we'll just be using slabs for that roof. It can be any color you want, but I like the way this dark teal looks with this yellowish color. So I'm going to put 3 of these on each of those. And once I have that, I'm going to connect them on the corners. So you should have the same pattern that you had on the base. Then we're just going to go around this whole thing, make a little square, but also have 1 on each end, like so. We're just gradually making it go up and up until it reaches a point. So next layer is going to be like this with 5, and then 1 more on top. And now you should have a nice pointed roof. Then underneath we're going to take our chain block, put it right in the center and have it go down as far as you want. And put your bucket wherever you want. You could put it in here, you could put it above there. It doesn't matter, it doesn't even have to be here, but there it is. If you wanted your well to be pulling up the water, you would have it visible. And that's our second well. Well done. This is definitely a more elegant well. I don't know where you'd find this, probably in the middle of some kind of very fancy palace. But anyway, it's pretty, so we're going to build it. This one is another 3x3-ish well. It's a little bit bigger of a water source area, but I'm going to be using the quartz bricks for this just so I can practice using them, really. So I'm going to make a 3x3 area. Well, the inside is 3x3, the outside is not, but you should have a 3x3 area on the inside with the quartz on each side. Then we're going to fill all of this in with water. Again, make it as deep as you want. It is a well, it can go deeper. And then we're going to put one block on the middle of each of those. You can just look at that, it's really obvious what I'm doing. Then 2 end rods on top of that for the supports. I wish we had something a little bit wider than this. Diorite doesn't look quite right because it's not the right texture, so we're going to stick with the end rods. Then on top of each of those, let me see what I did. I did a stair like this on each side. Then I did one slab there, another slab there. So they should be connected like that. And we'll just do that for all of them at the same time. And then on top, it's going to be another slab and then another slab. And then on the ends, we're just going to put one slab on each side of those end stairs. Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, it is also very easy if you just follow along. And that is the structure all done. Then we just have to add our chain and our bucket. You can make it go wherever you want. This one, I had it in the middle of the water, which is perfectly fine. It looks still very nice. And that's your fancy well design. Another job well done. Granite isn't one of my favorite blocks, but I thought I'd give it a chance and made this little well out of it. You could replace it possibly with bricks, but this looks fine, I think. So let's go ahead and build it. We've got to do the 4 corners with a full block, just like so. And then in between those, we're going to do a slab. There's no need to do any extra work underneath that. That's very simple. Then we've got our water source in the middle. Again, make it as deep as you want. Now on each of these corners, put a wall, and on top of those, an acacia fence. I'm using acacia because it's the closest in color to the granite. So whatever you use, you're just gonna need a full block, a wall, and a fence. Now on top of these fences, we're gonna put a stair. I guess these don't necessarily have to be facing any direction. They don't even have to be stairs, but I'm using stairs like that on each fence. And then in between those, let's go ahead and put one slab in between all of those. So it should look just like this. Next, we'll do a stair all the way around. Nice. And then we're just gonna cap it off with a slab. Actually, you might have to put an extra slab under this one, just so the chain is actually connected to the bottom of the block. So it will need to be a full block up there, not just a slab. And let's go ahead and add our chain going as far down as you want. And go ahead and put your bucket and your water. And this one's a little bit tighter, so it actually might look better how this one has the chain going all the way down. It actually might look better for these tiny ones, but either one still looks fine. This well do be getting fancy though. This is actually my favorite one out of all 6 of these wells. And I got a little bit carried away with the textures, or at least I tried to texture it more than the others. But these are so small, so it is kind of hard to texture them. Anyway, enough with the rambling. Let's actually build it. So this is going to use that same cross pattern we used in the second one. And so we're just going to go ahead and do that same thing, but with stone brick or any block of your choice. So we're just going to map out the floor plan just like so. And we're going to go ahead and fill in all of these middle areas with our water source. Just like that. That looks right. Now on each end, we're going to do a cobblestone wall on the corners, the 2 opposing corners. So you should have 8 of those, just like that. Then I'm going to just texture it with some stone brick walls in between them, but I'm going to leave 2 of the sides open, just like this, because that's where our supports are going to go. So we have our walls all in place. Now we're going to use a full block on those sides, then a wall on top of those, and another full block on top of that. Now we're going to put stairs on either side, and these will be the little supports that are coming out. Looks good. And next we're going to connect these to the middle. So we're going to put a brick there, a block there, and then one right there. And that is going to be the stone structure. Now we just have to add the roof and the railing. The railing is really easy. It's just trapdoors, so we can go ahead and do that. And spruce trapdoors, of course, because they just look good with anything pretty much. So there's our railing. Now we just have to add the roof, so we have warped wood and prismarine. I just like these colors, that's why I'm using them. They just look so fantasy-like and so cute. So this is my cute well, and we're going to put a full block on each side. I'm using slabs, but it technically is a full block. Just go ahead and cover all of those stone areas with it, just like that. Then we're going to put a row of stairs across the top here. So you're going to have 6 stairs you're going to be using. And then at the very top, go ahead and put a row of slabs. And now we need to connect some of these corners with the slabs. So we're going to put one here, and one here, and go ahead and repeat that on this side. And once you're done with that, then we just have to add the trim with the prismarine brick. So we're going to put 3 of those across the side here. Then on each end, it's going to just angle up to trace around the darker color. So we've got one there, one there. This one's going to be floating right there. Then we're going to put 2 more there, and then 3 across here. We're not putting any in that corner. Then we're going to put one here, floating, then 2 more down. So you can watch that back again if you need to see it, or just look at what I've done. It's pretty simple. And now that we have the structure done, we can add in our chain. And I'm not going to put the bucket down there, although you could if you really wanted to. I'm just going to connect it all the way down. And of course, if you were actually doing this for real, you'd probably want the well to be a little bit deeper than this. But I think it looks good just to have the chain going down. It actually looks really good. This is my favorite well, so I hope you guys liked it. Well, now it all comes down to this final well that almost didn't happen because once I reached 5 wells, it was like a good number to stop at, but I just had to design another one, and I'm actually glad I did because I really like this one. So we're going to be building this more ruined type looking well. It only looks ruined though because of the textures I used. If you use different blocks, it could look newer, so it really just depends on what blocks you want to use. And we're going to use the polished basalt for the base of this, and it just has a teeny tiny little well for such a big structure, but it will look nice. So we're going to make sure we're far enough away from that one. We're going to start with the base. It's going to be, if I can remember correctly, we're going to start like this, and then we'll have our water source in the middle, just like that. That's simple enough. And let me see what I did over there. I need to remember. So it's 3 blocks out like this, then 5 across like this, and then we're just going to repeat that basically on all sides. So you're just going to make sure you have 3 blocks coming out on each side, 5 going across, I guess, and then just 1 missing block on each corner. It's pretty simple, but I just have to talk these things out sometimes as I'm building. So go ahead and build that out. Once you have that, go ahead and take your full block of any kind. I'm using stone brick, and put 2 on each corner, just like that, so it connects all the way up to that middle source block. Now take a wall and connect all those blocks in the middle. We can go ahead and take a pressure plate and just put that on top of those just to round off the tops just a little bit. That looks nice. Now take your stone brick wall again and put 2 on each of the corners. Now we can start with the roof, so we're going to start with the first part of the roof, which is just going to be using a slab, and then we're going to put 2 slabs on the next one, 2 more slabs on that one, just going up half a step each time. And go ahead and repeat that on the other side to connect it, so you should have that angle. And we're just going to repeat that same thing on all of these sides. Once you have that, we can do, looks like I have some more slabs in the middle, so we're going to go around on this level, just go around and leave a hole in the middle. And then we're going to put another brick wall on the corners of those. And then we're just going to finish off the roof by connecting this part. It's going to be 4 slabs on each side to make a little triangle shape. And once you have those, on the very top, we can go ahead and put our slab. Now I think you might need to put an extra slab or remove a slab for the chains to fit under here. So do whatever you need to do. I'm going to put an extra one there just because it's easier. And then take your chains, have it go from the middle all the way down, If you want to include a bucket, you can, but since this one is so tiny, I think it might look better without the bucket. So we're just gonna have the chains go all the way down, and there is your well. Well done once again. Well, I hope you enjoyed those well designs, just a little something to add to your world in case you needed some extra inspiration. So this was a quick video just for that. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any ideas for other similar kinds of tutorials, even for something small like this, feel free to let me know, and I'll consider them. I hope to see you again in another video sometime, but until then, goodbye! But we're just going to use a cauldron for the bucket and fill it with water. And don't do that. As long as you don't do that, you're good. I gotta restart the whole thing.